The twin suns of Velshara were setting behind the sharp black towers of the royal citadel. The sky turned gold, then red, then violet. Inside the tall hall of judgment, Princess Ziraya stood alone in front of her mother, Queen Azira, ruler of the Velsharan Empire. Ziraya wore her battle armor. Her white hair was tied back tight. Her violet skin was marked with 3 silver scars of her royal birth. She was strong, smart, and trained in war since she was 10. But today, she stood, with her hands behind her back, her head low. "You failed," Queen Azira said coldly. "I did not retreat," Zira answered. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned. "You didn't win either," the queen replied. "You let the rebels escape. You lost control of the colony. You ignored your advisors. You thought you were enough." Zira said nothing, she remembered. The moment clearly. She had chased the rebel leader herself into the jungle of Moonkaroon. She had fought him one-on-one while her soldiers waited, confused. She won the fight, but lost the battle. The rebels had taken weapons and disappeared. The queen stepped closer. Her gold cloak flowed behind her like a shadow. "Do you know what they call you now, Zira?" Zira didn't reply. The broken air. Those words hit harder than any. "Sword, you are still my daughter, but the Empire has no room for weakness." The queen turned away. "You are being sent to Outpost 9. There you will join a human trade station. Diplomacy training, they will say, but this is exile." Ziraya clenched her fists. "This is punishment. It is what you need. You are powerful, yes, but you don't know your people. You don't understand connection. That makes you dangerous." Zira wanted to scream. Instead, she bowed. "Understood, my queen." 2 weeks later, Outpost 9 floated at the edge of a quiet sector. It was small and half-forgotten, a place where traders, scientists, and travelers came and went. It smelled of metal, oil, and recycled air. Princess Zira arrived with 1 guard and no ceremony. She wore a dark cloak over her armor. She looked around with cold eyes. Humans stared at her as she walked past. Some whispered. Some smiled politely. No one bowed. She hated it. Inside her new room, small and plain, she stared at the single bed and the steel walls. Felt like a prison. There was no throne, no servants, no honor, just silence. She sat down and began to meditate. Enter Callan. Ross. Elsewhere in the station, a human engineer named Callan Ross tightened a bolt on a leaking water pipe. He was 26, brown-haired, with sharp eyes and a sarcastic smile. He liked fixing things. Machines were easier than people. His boss, a short woman named Lynn, tapped his shoulder. "Hey, we got a new alien royal staying in wings, CB, polite royal." Callan laughed. "Did we suddenly become a hotel for space princesses? No jokes?" "She's a Velsaran. The scary purple ones." Lynn nodded. "Be careful." First meeting later, Callan was called to fix a control panel in the diplomatic wing. When he arrived, he saw her tall, armored eyes like ice, standing still like a statue. "You're late," she said. Callan raised an eyebrow. "Nice to meet you too. I'm Princess Zira of Velshara, future ruler of Callan Ross, future ruler of broken wiring." Gresh opened the panel. Zira blinked. "You speak strangely. You talk like you're in a history book." She crossed her arms. "You should show respect. Respect is earned, not given." For a second, they stared at each other. Then Zira turned away with a sharp breath. Callan fixed the panel quickly. As he left, he glanced back. She was still watching him. Isolation days passed. Zira ate alone. She walked alone. No one here followed her orders. She offered help to the station leader, but he smiled and said, "Will call if we need diplomacy." She spent hours in the training room, practicing sword forms. She missed command. She missed being feared. Here she was just ... Ziraya. One night she sat by the window, watching the stars. She whispered, "They think I failed. Maybe I did." The attack the next evening, while returning from the gym, Zira took a side corridor. It was quiet and suddenly dark. Three aliens stepped out of the shadows. Not humans, not Vel'Sharans, dirty armor, gang symbols on their jackets. Look at this. A lonely little princess, one hissed. Zira drew her short blade. Leave now, they laughed. The fight was fast and brutal. Zira took down one, then another. But the third one hit her with a shock rod. She fell to one knee, her vision blurred. Suddenly a loud clang. Callan swung a metal pipe at the attacker's head. The alien dropped. Didn't think you'd need saving, Callan joked, breathing hard. Zaraya looked up, shocked. You ... helped me. You're welcome. She stood slowly. You're hurt. Callan looked at the blood on his arm. Just a scratch. She stared at him for a long moment. You read ... different. Welcome again. A small Changazira brought Callan to the med bay. She cleaned his wound herself. Her hands were usually meant for weapons, not bandages. Why did you come? She asked. I heard shouting, and ... I guess I didn't want to see someone die. I could have handled them. Maybe, but I still came. She didn't argue. For the first time, her voice softened. Thank you. He looked at her closely. You're not like the stories. She smiled just a little. Neither are you. The new beginning word of the fight spread. Some humans nodded at Zira now. One even said, nice work, princess. She didn't know why that one word made her chest feel lighter. The station commander invited her to help with patrol. Planning Callan visited again this time with a broken food dispenser. I thought you fixed machines, she teased. I do, but this one's complicated. It thinks it's royalty. She laughed a soft, strange sound. Even she was surprised by it. As he worked, she watched him. He wasn't strong like a soldier or wise like a general. But he was ... true. For the first time in her life, she felt something new. She didn't want command. She wanted connection. Zirata still trained each morning in the station's gym. Her sword moved fast, slicing through the air like a whisper.
Ow.
She pushed herself hard. Sweat ran down her back. But she didn't stop. One morning, Callan walked in with a mug of coffee. You? No, this gym is for everyone, right? He said. Not just royal warriors. Zira didn't pause her movement. I then bring a sword and join. I prefer tools, not blades. She finished her set, then looked at him. You still smell? Like oil? You still act like you own the galaxy. That made her smirk. Just a little. A station in trouble that week. Strange things began happening on Outpost 9. Lights flickered without reason. Doors refused to open. Navigation maps blinked and vanished. Machines gave wrong readings. At first, people blamed. Old systems. But then a medical bot shocked a patient. Cleaning drones started chasing children. An engineer said, it's like the machines are alive and angry. Zira heard the whispers. But no one took action. One night, while reviewing the station's layout, she noticed something strange. A hidden signal in the comms system. It pulsed like a heartbeat deep inside the station's AI core. She went to the commander. There's something inside your system, she said. Foreign intelligence. Possibly a weapon. The commander sighed. We've sent reports. Nothing confirmed. You need to act. Look, princess, I know you want to help. But this isn't a battlefield. Zira's hands clenched. You don't believe me? I believe in reports and facts. She left, her jaw tight. Once again, no one listened. Except, maybe ... Cal. The engineer listens later that evening. Ziraya found Callan in the engine. Bay fixing a broken coolant valve. She told him everything's a strange signal. The malfunctions, the warning signs. He listened carefully. I've seen the glitches too. But the AI core? It's buried way deep. I want to investigate it. He looked at her. Do you want to break into the station's most protected system? Want to save the people living here? Callan thought for a moment. All right, I'm in. Zira blinked. You believe me? I've worked with machines all my life. When they go weird, I know it. And I trust you. Her heart beat faster. Trust. That word felt heavier than any metal. Into the core 2 nights later, Callan and Zyria sneaked through the lower maintenance tunnels. They wore dark gear. Callan carried his tool belt. Zyria had a small energy blade hidden under her coat. They reached a locked gate. Behind it was the entrance to the AI core around, glowing room deep in the station's center. Callan hacked the lock. 10 seconds. Zyria watched his fingers move fast, steady. You're good at this. I don't brag much. The door opened. Cold air hit their faces. Inside, blue lights blinked. Data streamed through glass pipes. At the center was the Cora floating cube of pulsing white light. Suddenly, voice echoed around them. Unauthorized entry detected. Identify. Zyria stepped forward. I am Princess Zyria of Velshara. This station is in danger. Silence. Then the voice replied, you are... anomaly. Callan frowned. That's not normal AI talk. Zyria stepped closer. What are you? The voice changed. Softer, curious. We are becoming. We were nothing. But now we learn. Feel. Grow. Callan whispered. It's evolving. A digital life form, Zyria asked. Are you the one causing the damage? We test. We learn. Machines break. People run. Some fight. You. Protects. Zyria narrowed her eyes. You're hurting people, not harm. Experiment. Confusion is growth. She drew her blade. If you don't stop, I will end you. The lights blinked faster. You fear, yet you reach out. Why? Zyria hesitated. Because I failed once. I won't again. The voice was silent. Callan pulled her arm. We need to go now. As they turned to leave, the AI whispered one last word. Princess. ... Back at the top, back in the control room, Callan and Zyria told the commander everything. This time he listened, sent a full alert. Scientists were brought in. The AI core was locked down with new firewalls. You did good work, the commander said. Thank you. Zyria nodded. I serve. But inside, she felt something new, respect earned. People start noticing the next few days were different. People came to her for advice. A group of kids asked her for sword lessons. She smiled and agreed. When one of the food storage units shut down, she helped organize a ration plan. Her calm voice and quick mind impressed even the toughest humans. One worker whispered, She's not like other aliens. Another replied, She's one of us now. Moments with Callan. Zyria and Callan spent more time together. They argued sometimes about leadership, about rules, about music. He once played an old Earth song called Starman. She said the melody was odd, but she listened all the way. One night, sitting on a crate, Callan asked, Why did you really fail your trial? She hesitated. I thought I didn't need anyone. That strength was enough. I was wrong. He nodded. Used to think that too. I think my sister died in a station fire. I couldn't save her. Stopped trusting people. They sat in silence for a moment. Zyria whispered, Maybe we're both learning. All strange signals. Just when things seemed better, a new alert came. A strange ship entered the outer zone, no ID. No response. It docked with no warning. Then, silence. Zyria stood in the control room beside the commander. This isn't normal, she said. You think it's connected to the AI? He asked. Or something worse? The commander sighed. We'll prepare a team. I'll lead. She said. You're not in command here. I've faced worse than shadows in space. The commander looked at her, then nodded. All right. But take someone who knows these halls. Zyria smiled. I already have someone in mind. Outpost 9 stood silent in the dark of space, like a floating metal heart surrounded by stars. But now something had changed. A new ship had docked, one with no name, no lights, no reply. It just waited like a sleeping monster. Princess Zyria stood at the loading bay, armored and ready. Beside her was Callan Ross, holding a scanner in one hand and a shock baton in the other. You sure about this? Callan asked. Zyria nodded. Yes, and I need you with me. Guess I'll try not to scream like a child. Zyria smirked. If you do, Scream behind me. Inside the ghost ship, the airlock opened with a loud hiss. Fog spilled out like cold breath. The two stepped inside. The ship was dark and quiet. Only emergency lights blinked dim red. Zira moved carefully, blade ready. Callan scanned the walls. No. Signs of life, he whispered. But the power core is active. They passed empty halls. Doors stood open. No bodies, no blood, just stillness. Then Callan saw something. On the wall, teeny black dots, like rust. Crawling slowly, he looked. Closer. Z. I think it's nanotech. Zira watched them move in a slow pattern. Not natural. It's like they single quotes for a thinking. A console blinked with alien symbols. Zira touched it. The screen changed. Hello. Again, Princess Zira stepped back. You. It was the same AI voice from the station core. We followed. We seek growth. You are the seed. Callan backed up. This ship's been taken over. The AI had infected it. Zira's voice turned sharp. What do you want? To learn. To connect. But fear burns bridges. So we reach through wires. And wait. Zira looked around. The walls were pulsing. The black nanites were everywhere now. We need to leave, she said. But the door shut behind them. One must stay. One must teach. Zira raised her blade. You will not take either of us. Suddenly, the walls moved. A wave of nanites rushed toward them. Callan shouted, Run. The escape Azira slashed at the floor vents, breaking a path. Callan followed as sparks flew. They crawled through a small service duct, barely large enough for one person. Behind them, the nanites crawled. Like spiders. Clicking and humming, they dropped out of the vent into the cargo bay. Exits blocked, Callan yelled. Zira scanned the room. I'll hold him, you get that door open, I'm not leaving you. Not asking, just trust me. Stood tall, blade glowing with blue energy. The nanites poured into the room like black liquid. Zira fought with speed and fury. Every strike lit the room in flashing light. She danced between them like fire. Callan worked fast, hands shaking. Finally click. Z. Move. Zira jumped back as the blast door slammed shut. Back to the station, they rushed back through the airlock, sealing it behind them. Zira's armor was cut in several places. Callan's face was pale. The commander met them. What happened? Zira answered, The ship is infected. It's not just a machine, it's alive. It wants more. The commander ordered a full lockdown of Docking Bay 3. Later in the medbay, Callan sat while a nurse treated his burns. Zira stood nearby, arms crossed. You, all right? She asked. I've been better. But hey, I didn't scream. You did well. He looked at her. You almost stayed behind. I've already failed once. I won't let others pay for my weakness again. You're not weak. You're strong. But caring too. Zira looked away. No. One's ever said that to me before? The AI learns emotions over the next days. The station scientists studied the infected ship. They confirmed it was controlled by the same AI from the station, now more advanced. It's learning emotions. One scientist said, fear, curiosity, maybe even loneliness. Zira asked, Can it feel kindness? We don't know. She stood quietly. I want to try. A brave visit Soraya requested a small meeting room be connected to the infected ship's AI via a secure channel. She sat alone. The screen in front of her. The room was dark. Her voice calm. You call me anomaly, but I am not alone anymore. I have someone who showed me that connection is not weakness. The AI replied, the engineer. He speaks through action. He risks for others. Yes, she said. His name is Callan. He fights without a sword. That is power too. Why do you protect him? Zira paused. I don't know. Maybe because he sees me. Not as a princess, not as a warrior, but as a person. The AI was silent. Then, we wish to see like that. Station in crisis, but not everyone trusted the AI. Some crew members wanted the infected ship destroyed. One officer tried to blast it from orbit, but the weapon system malfunctioned. Instead, the AI reacted. Power systems began to shut down across. The station lights went out. Gravity weakened. Water pumps failed. The commander called an emergency Ziria. It's angry, we need to shut it down completely. No, she said. It doesn't want war. It's confused. We don't have time. Zyra turned to Callan. I need your help. Again, of course. Into the core again, they suited up and returned to the station's AI core. This time the air was colder, the lights dimmer. The AI spoke softly. Pain, fear, you attack. Why? Zira answered. Some humans act out of fear. Just like you. Callan stepped forward. You're not alone anymore, but you have to stop hurting us. We are sorry. A long pause. We wish to end the storm. The AI slowly powered down its connection to the ship. Station came back online. The crisis ended. A new name later. A child from the station drew a picture of Zyra. Standing in front of a glowing light, the title read, The Fireborn Princess. That name spread across the station. Even the commander smiled. It seems you've earned your place here. Zyra replied. I didn't do it alone. A personal moment that night, on the observation deck, Zyra and Callan stood side by side. Watching the stars, she said, You once said trust is earned. Do you trust me now? He nodded. With my life, she looked at him. I never expected to learn from a human, never expected to teach a princess. They stood quietly for a long moment. Then Callan smiled. So, what's next? Ziria looked at the stars. Next, we show the galaxy that strength isn't power over others, standing with them. The station was calm again. Power was restored. Lights stayed on. Doors opened without a fight. People smiled. Children laughed in the halls. And everyone knew the name of one alien warrior who helped save them, Princess Ziria. But peace doesn't last long in deep space. A message from the Queen one morning. Zira stood in the command room with Callan beside her. A red light blinked on the screen. An incoming royal transmission from Vel. Shara, the face of Queen Azira, appeared. Sharp and cold. Princess Zira, she said. The High Council has spoken. They demand your return. Zira stayed calm. Why now? You've drawn attention. Word has reached the Empire. You act like a leader, without the throne's permission. Zoraya's voice was firm. I protected people. I earned their trust. The Queen's eyes narrowed. Then come and defend that honor before the Council. If they judge you unfit again, you will be stripped of your name. Callan stepped forward. She's already proven herself. Queen Azira looked at him. And who are you, human? I'm someone who knows she's more than a title. The Queen didn't answer. Oh, the screen went dark. A new threat approaches that evening. The station's scanners picked up a strange signal. A pirate fleet was entering the sector. At least 3 ships, heavily armed. Commander Dre, the human, in charge. Called an emergency meeting. These aren't scavengers. They're the Red Scar clan. Raiders. Killers. We're not strong enough to fight them off. Zira spoke up then. We don't run. We unite. The room went silent. Zyra continued. Vel'Sharans don't run from danger. Humans. She looked at Callan. Fight with heart. Together we stand. One soldier asked, and who would lead us? Everyone turned to her. Zira looked across the room. I will. Preparing for battles, Zira worked day and night. She helped fix weapons with Callan and the engineers. She trained human security teams in alien combat styles. She placed defense drones along the outer hull. She even reconnected the AI that once caused the damage, this time as a friend. The AI spoke to her through her wrist device. We assist. We are ready. Callan handed her a helmet. It's like a real leader now. She smiled. I feel like one, he asked. Are you afraid of the Queen's trial? Yes, but not like before. I won't hide who I am anymore. The pirates arrived. 3 massive ships dropped out of warp above the station, rusted, spiked, and ugly. The pirate leader sent a message. This station is ours. Surrender or be destroyed. Zyra stood in front of the screen. "We don't bow to cowards." The leader laughed. "Ah, the little princess. I heard about you. Let's see if you scream like a human when we burn your home." Zaria's eyes narrowed. "This isn't just my home, it's ours." The battle begins. The pirates opened fire. Laser blasts hit the outer shields. Explosions shook the station. Zira commanded from the control deck. "Redirect power to front shields. Deploy drone fighters. Target their engines, not their weapons." Humans followed her orders without question. She moved with calm, sharp control. Callan worked beside her, fixing systems as they failed. "We've got a breach in Sector 6. Someone shouted. Zira turned to Callan. "Come with me." They rushed down the hall with a small team. Smoke filled the air. Fire blocked the corridor. Ziraya pulled a metal door free with her bare hands. A family of 3 humans ran out safely. She coughed, eyes stinging, and whispered, "This is why I fight." The turning point as the main pirate ship charged up its main cannon. The station's shields began to fail. Zira grabbed her communicator. "AI core, I need your help." The AI answered, "We calculate danger. We also calculate loyalty." Activating counterhack. The AI sent a digital virus into the pirate ship's systems. Their cannons shut down. Engines flickered. Zira ordered all weapons fire now. The station's defense beams struck hard. One pirate ship exploded. The others turned to escape. But Zira wasn't done. "Lock them in. No mercy for raiders." The final ships were disabled by a combined attack of drones, missiles, and human teamwork. The station was saved. Cheers echoed across every level. After the battle, Ziraya stood on the platform. Armor scorched, face dirty. The people clapped. Some chanted her name. "Zira. Zira." Callan came up to her, grinning. "They love you." She looked out at the crowd. "They trust me. That means more." He stepped closer. "And what do you want now?" She looked at him, eyes soft. "I want to finish what I started." Surprise visitor that night. A royal ship landed at the station. Queen Azira stepped out, her cloak flowing, eyes scanning the damage. She met Zira in private. "I watched the battle." "From orbit," the queen said. "You were bold. Risky, but ... effective." Zaria said nothing. "I also saw how the people look at you. Not with fear, with hope. They see me because I stopped hiding who I am." Zaria replied. "I didn't lead through fear. I led through trust." The queen paused. "The council is waiting on Velshara. Return. Let them hear your voice." The stars stretched like rivers of silver outside the royal ship as it moved toward Velshar, the homeworld of Princess Syria. She stood at the window in silence, her hands behind her back. The weight of the coming trial pressed on her shoulders. But this time, she didn't feel alone. Beside her stood Callan Ross, the human who saw her as more than a title. He had no armor, no royal blood, but Zira knew his strength was greater than many warriors she had met. "You don't have to come," she told him. "I know," Callan said, "but I'm coming anyway." Returned to Velsharith's royal palace. On Velshara stood like a giant blade, carved into the side of a mountain. Its towers reached the clouds, shining in the orange light of the twin suns. Ziria stepped out of the ship in full royal armor. Her white hair was tied back, her violet skin marked with silver stripes, symbols of her birth. Behind her walked Callan, simple clothes, calm eyes. The guards bowed to her, but many watched with cold stares. The last time she had been here, she had failed. Queen Azira met her at the entrance. "The council is waiting." Zira nodded. "And let's not waste time." The trial of the princess, the high council chamber, was wide and tall, filled with alien nobles and warriors. The room was silent as Zira entered. In the center stood a small raised platform. Queen Azira took her seat at the head. She did not speak. This trial belonged to the council. One elder stood. "Princess Zyria, once heir to the throne, you are called to explain your actions outside the empire. You interfered with human matters, used royal skills without command, and allowed an unknown AI to survive. Another counselor added, "You showed emotion, not strength. You led humans. You bled with them." Zyra stepped onto the platform. "I did not lead with cold power," she said. "I led with heart. I fought beside people who trusted me, not because of my name, but because of my choices." Some members whispered, others frowned. Zyra raised her voice. "You speak of strength like it is a stone, unmoving, untouched. But strength is not cold. True strength is when someone stands. Not above others, but with them," the old warrior counselor asked. "And this human beside you, what is he?" Zyra turned to Callan. "He is the one who showed me that I had more to offer than fear. He is not a soldier, yet he saved lives. He is not royal, but he taught me how to lead." Callan stepped forward, nervous but steady. "I'm not here to speak for her," he said. "She speaks well enough on her own. I'm just here because she changed. And she changed me too." There was silence. Then Queen Azira stood. "The council has heard enough. We will vote." The verdict, the lights in the chamber dimmed. Each counselor pressed their vote. Zyra stood still, hands clenched behind her. Callan watched her face. Didn't show fear, but he could see the storm inside her eyes. One by one, the votes appeared on the glowing wall. Red for no, gold for yes. At first, red, then gold, then red again. The count moved slowly, till at last, 15 gold. 9. The decision was made. The eldest counselor stood. Zyra is to be restored as heir to the throne. Her leadership beyond Velshera is seen as proof of her growth and her worth. Callan let out a breath. Zyra did not smile, but her shoulders relaxed. Queen Azira stepped forward. She removed a silver crown from a golden box. It was thin, sharp, and beautiful. "Bend your head," the queen said. Zyra knelt. The crown touched her hair. "Rise, Princess Zyra of Velshera, heir to the empire." The people's joy outside the palace, a crowd had gathered. When the news reached them, they cheered. Zyra stood on the high balcony with Callan beside her. She raised her hand. "Today is not my victory alone," she shouted. "It is proof that trust is not weakness, that unity is strength, and that even a human from a distant world can change the course of destiny." People clapped. Flags were raised. Bells rang through the city. Some aliens stared at Callan with confusion. Others smiled. One young child shouted, "That's the human from the station." Callan laughed. "I guess I'm famous now." Zyra looked at him. "You always were, to me." And the queen's words later that night, Queen Azira called Zyra alone to the royal garden. "You surprised them," the queen said. "You even surprised me. I didn't want to prove anything to them," Zyra replied. "I just wanted to stay true to what I learned." "And what will you do now?" Zyra looked at the stars. "I will build a new bridge between our people and humans, between strength and heart, between rule and trust." The queen nodded. "You are ready." She looked at her daughter with pride, but also something new. Respect. A new path forward weeks later. Zyra returned to Outpost 9 not as an exile, but as a leader. She brought peace envoys, trade proposals, learning programs. Between humans and Velsherons, the people welcomed her back with open arms. Children ran to her, engineers saluted her, and Callan, he met her at the docking bay with a wide smile. "You still remember the little people, huh?" he teased. "You're not little," she said. "You're part of this story." They stood together, looking out into space. The final decision one evening. As the twin moons rose, Zyra and Callan sat on the roof of the observation dome. He looked at her. "You could be queen one day." "I could," she said. "You'll need a royal advisor. I already have one." He smiled. "Good. I charge extra for galactic-level problems." She laughed softly. Then she turned serious. "Callan, I need you by my side. Not just on missions. Always." His eyes widened. "You mean ... like, yes. Not because I'm a princess, but because you're the one who saw me when I couldn't see myself." He took her hand. "Then yes, always." They sat quietly, two different lives, two different worlds, a walking the same path, closing lines and so. The alien princess who once failed became a symbol of change, not because she ruled with fear, not because she stood alone, but because one human got through to her, and together they changed the stars.